Alrighty, what's going on, everybody? Of course, my name is Blitzwinger, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to, of course, a brand new episode of Blitzvillage. This is part number 15, and I believe this is going to be the second to last part before we finish off the Avengers Tower, which is kind of crazy to think, but it will hopefully be the case. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, of course, as always, welcome back to Blitzvillage. Every single week, we build something in this wonderful, wonderful world that we have slowly but surely assembled over many episodes so far. But nonetheless, of course, ladies and gents, as always, at the beginning of every single episode, every single Sunday, I feature 3 to 4 of you lovely folks and your awesome Minecraft creations. So if you want to be featured on next week's episode, please do not forget to tweet your images, at me over on twitter.com/blitzwinger or at Blitzwinger. So with that in mind, let's get rocking rolling with the first entries for this week. We kick things off with Jordan and Shannon, who sent in The Walking Dead Prison from seasons 3 and I think /4, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure. So nonetheless, an absolutely incredible amount of details here. I mean, they've got even like the little watchtowers. If you watch that show, you would know about that. But wow, what an impressive build. You even have the little gardening area and everything. So very well done. Thank you so very much for an amazing submission. We then move on to Itza He. I think it's like Itza, ITSA. And then space, he. So I hope I pronounced that correctly. I apologize if I don't. And he or she sends in a Charizard, which pretty much looks very similar to the one that I have right here, except for the fact... Wait a minute. What is that back here? Oh, I think this was supposed to be like a piece of the wing, right? Or something like that. I don't remember. But I think we should replace that. Like so. I think that looks better. But it's a very similar build. Nicely done. I like how he did like the glowstone around the actual design. I think it looks sweet. Thank you so very much for that submission as well. And then last but certainly not least, we have Yamin Ahmed, who sends in a very cool house. I love the amount of like greenery and shrubbery you put in there, because that was just super duper clever, and it made me think that at some point I want to go back and do something similar with our house here, with our mansion house here, and do some sort of cool design for like plants and stuff like that. So I think you did exceptionally good work there. So thank you so very much for that submission. And with that in mind, I guess we need to clear the weather, and we can now proceed to our build for today. And there we are at the very tippity top of the tower. So today, as I mentioned at the end, I believe, of the last episode, we're going to be working on the helipad. So essentially, what we're going to be doing is extending a ginormous region outwards where the Quinjet could land. Now, over time, maybe at some point in the future, we could actually build like a little Quinjet model to place along this area. That's something that is certainly possible. I'm not going to say it's outside the realm of possibility. So we'll see. All right. So I think what I'd like to do is really extend it so far just with the white glass here, or the white stained glass. Whoops. All right. So let's see. I want to kind of like keep it getting closer and closer. Like something like this, obviously. And then I just want to see how long that would take. I don't want to like make it way too huge either. You know, because we don't want to... Like, this is about the length that I would want it to be. So I think we'll be good if we extend it about this far. About yay far. Now I just need to make sure that I built out something that will help me know where the middle point is, or not the middle point, but like the building point is. So here we are. So we need to build out here, and then we just do yikes. Sorry, let me just disassemble all this mumbo jumbo. Okay, so there we are. Build to the side, then outwards. Build to the side, then outwards. So I think we're supposed to do it like so. Side, outwards, side, outwards, side, outwards, side, outwards, and then side, outwards. Is that corresponding to the other side? I'm just trying to see that it's all accurate. Okay, I think so. All right, perfect. So we're going to put like a big H in the center, of course, because there's a helicopter that needs to actually land onto this. I think I would like to use... We could either use... you know what? Actually, we're going to use some quartz. Or no. Let's find another white block, but something that is different to the ones that we've used. We could use some iron. That could be kind of cool. So we could use that. We could use some pillar quartz, some chiseled quartz. I actually do want to put these to a good use as well. All right. So I think what we'll do now is just essentially fill all this in. I like the way that the iron looks. I think that looks pretty cool. There's a cloud going through our build right now, which is a little bit weird. We're dealing with a bit of a cloudy weather here, but that's okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just fill this in all. Now, of course, after this, we do need to actually have to account for the H thing that we're going to put down onto it. But this is just like the main platform. So that's what it is for now. And that's all we're worried about for now, for the time being, so to speak. And then we can obviously extend and make it work better for our needs, which in this case is to act like a helipad or a landing zone. I know that typically the Avengers Tower has kind of like a module type thing where it's like this is the landing pad, but then there's also like always like a little build where Tony would usually land, and that's where, like, remember in Iron Man... Or was it in the Avengers? I think it might have been in the Avengers where he lands and then this machine, like this gantry, comes up and like disassembles all of his armor and stuff like that. So I know we could go for that design, but we're going to go with our own kind of rendition. Obviously, our Avengers Tower is not like the movie one anyways. It's definitely inspired by it in some regards. But at the same time, it's completely our own rendition, which is nice because I feel like it's better that we kind of made it our own. All right, so... Here we are, filling all this in. Making good progress already. I like it. Here we go. Whoops. Aye, come on. What's going on? Come on. Okay, I'm going a little bit too fast, or maybe too slow. And that's the matter. Come on. All right, we only have about 4 hours to go. I'm joking. The other thing that I do want to do in some capacity is to have some sort of beams holding up this entire structure, because I think it would look ridiculous if it was just by itself, like if it was just floating in midair. Like, obviously, this thing is not structurally sound probably as it is, but at least trying to make it somewhat more structurally sound is not a bad idea. So I would like to have some sort of beams extending from underneath it to kind of like picture as if it's being held up by those things. So I think that should hopefully work out once we have all this built out. Okay, another cloud coming through. Oh, look at that noise coming through the portal. By the way, I love how a lot of you guys actually did let me know that apparently the Ender Portal, you can make it whatever shape you want, which is pretty awesome. It just needs to be at least 3 by 3, I guess, or something like that. Oh, no, 3 by 2. So that's basically kind of like the minimum. But other than that, you can make it whatever length you want, which is awesome. So obviously that gives us a little bit more leeway in terms of structure and such. All right, and speaking of structure... We are pretty much done here with our core structure, so there it is. And as I said, obviously, if we look at it from down here, it looks weird if there is no some type of beams extending outwards. So what I think we will do is just like build out some type of a build that would be essentially... Whoops. Uh-oh. Is that right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, yeah. So, essentially something like this that is holding up this whole structure, and we could extend this whole platform outwards, because I think it just will look more appropriate and just better in general if we did that. So then we're just going to go ahead and bring this whole thing across like this. And then we need to extend this as well. Whoops. Come on. There we are. Okay, so now I just need to match the exact same build. So we go 2 up, 2 up, 2 up. Okay. So, whoops. Come on, what's going on with my mouse again? Don't be acting up. You were working perfectly fine. And now you're acting up again. Okay, so I think we did this. Then this essentially, right? Then up again. Then this. Up again. Then this. And then up again. And this. Correct? Alright, I think we got it. Boom. Perfect. There we are. I hope that that is correct. Whoa, whoa, what's going on now? Come on, mouse. You was working so well, and now you've betrayed me yet again. How dare you, mouse? How dare you? I think maybe the batteries are low or something. I don't know. Okay, so we're essentially done with that little structural build on the outskirts. I think it might be a good idea to go ahead and actually like add some cross beams. Whoops. Ideally, I'd want it to be... Oh, that looks cool. I like that. Here we go. Boom. Okay, we'll do this kind of triangulated pattern. And we'll see where it reaches across on the opposite end. And based on that, we could judge whether or not we like the structure. Okay, well, it wasn't perfect in terms of its corner location. Yikes! It is very, very, very cloudy. Suddenly, it is quite cloudy. Suddenly, it is quite cloudy. Okay, now we're gonna just swoop underneath this thing. And then just continue extending this more and more. There we are, and there we are. All right, so that kind of gave us somewhat of a triangular shape. It obviously doesn't look accurate, especially from the bottom. So I guess what we could do to kind of work around that is to maybe extend this further, right? And then connect these things. There we go. So then we will do the same thing out here. There we are. And that is much, much better. I'm just going to fill that in as well. And then just go around the other side and fill that in as well. All right. So that already looks much better, much more realistic. That it's got like an actual structure holding it up. I think that works a lot better than what we were working with just moments ago. All right, so now we get to the landing pad itself. And for the pad, I wanted to use the sea lanterns as essentially kind of like a light source because I think that would look cool. It would kind of be really neat to actually put some of these lanterns down here as well. Like, I think it would be kind of neato to have a few of them. Maybe, like, right in the center here. Okay, I think that will look cool. Just to kind of give it a little bit more light. You know? Let's see. If we put these in the corners, like, hidden away at nighttime, I think they will look really, really cool. Because they will light up, right? So we'll put them just on the corners of each end. Yikes. Okay, I don't know why that keeps happening, but it is. Continuously happening over and over again. All right, sweet. So then we get to the pad itself. So I think we'll use... I think I want to use maybe wool again. Like a different colored wool, of course. Or maybe carpet. I don't know. No. We'll use wool. And then maybe like light gray wool. Let's see how that look. So first of all, I probably should just spell out H. Maybe we should go with A because it's Avengers, but I think H will work just fine. All right, we don't want to make it too huge because it's not going to fit onto here. So let's try to maybe count down to like make sure that it's actually square. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's start it like here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know some people are like scratching their heads right now, like, what is he doing? We're trying to make sure that it's symmetrical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 5 is better, probably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it was 5 to begin with. And I think we have 4 back here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Sweetness. It's snowing. Sorry about the brief interruption there, but it is snowing. I just had to replace the batteries in the mouse. All right. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Okay. So, we will put actually, I forgot. I need to probably count back from here as well, don't I? Yikes. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So here we are. There is 5, 6. Okay, perfect. So we're going to go essentially the length of that thing right there. Then we will make... I think actually this might work just fine. Here we are. Okay, so I think that works fine. Then we need to fill in the rest of this with gray and make more of a circular shape, of course, in the process. So first of all, I think we'll just fill it in, and then we'll go from there in terms of how to make it circular, or somewhat circular. So I think what we could do is maybe, I don't know, it's going to be really tough to make it circular at this point. Really, the only way we probably have somewhat of a chance is if we just did something like... No, I don't think so even. It's just going to take too much space. That's the problem. So I think what we will do is we may just end up doing like a little more of a square shape. I think that will work. Not more of, it'll be literally a square shape. So I think what we will do is just essentially extend this a little bit further. Of course, I do have to think ahead also, like if we end up building that Quinjet that we potentially may be wanting to build, I do need to be aware of the fact that this helipad needs to be big enough to house that Quinjet. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect. So I think this is a pretty good little landing pad. In fact, I actually kind of like having this, like the black outskirts like that. It does look kind of cool. I forgot to extend this further. All right, now the reason why I took the stone brick stairs is because I wanted to give it a bit more of a rounded feel thanks to the stairs. Because if we use the stairs, it gives us that little curvature right there. So it kind of makes it more circular and round. So we're kind of cheating by turning a square into a circle, which is something that technically is not possible. Not just technically, it just isn't, I don't think, geometrically speaking. But we are making it somewhat possible, and we're making it work somewhat. Okay, I am messing up right now, left, right, and center. All right, there we are. All right, so now that we have the stairs in, I think we do have to take down these designs, because unfortunately they take up way too much room, in my opinion at least. So we're going to just take these down. Just knock them all down. There we are. All right, perfect. So that looks pretty good. We have our helipad fully assembled, nicely done, if I may say so myself. And then we have to, I kind of wanted to use some of these like fences to fence the stuff in. I kind of wish there would be like a lot more fences and more of a selection of fences. I know that soon, isn't Minecraft 1.9 coming soon? I'm pretty sure it is. But we could do this, I guess, essentially, to kind of create a fence around this whole border, because it's pretty dangerous. So you obviously want to have like a safe or a safety net around this whole thing. You know, especially if like Hawkeye and the Hulk get into an argument on the helipad. Probably a good idea to have this. Whoa, come on. There we go. That's not what I was trying to knock down, but that's okay. All right. So I chose this color specifically because I think that's the one that like blends in with the actual environment best. So, you know what? I think we might just extend this all the way around. Whoops. I may actually also, in between recordings, come back around and make it too high. So, like, extend it to be more than just one layer, but instead it'll be double. Because I think that could be, it could look a little better, like if we did it like that, right? Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. That's what I'll end up doing. All right, but for now it's okay. We can just keep it at 1. I'll just extend it on my own time. Okay, there we are, extending this all the way to the other side. We are good. All right, now we need some carpeting. Oh yeah, I forgot the lanterns. I forgot them again. My idea initially was for the lanterns to be kind of like corner posts. You know, like how usually when they have like helicopter pads or helipads, they have like little lights all around them to signify to you where the landing is. So I think that could work, you know? Kind of looks cool too. All right, so then essentially what we need to do is just fill this in with some carpet. There we are. Wha-bam! All right, so you have like a nice little guidance right to and from the pad, which is pretty cool. Actually, I think I might fill this in like that, because I think that would look cool. And just aesthetically would give it a bit more of a different vibe. Not all of it, just kind of like right around the edges. I think it would look cool. Let's see. Hope it will, or else this was a giant waste of time just now, going all the way around this whole thing. But let's see. Ooh, you see? It kind of gets more brought to life that way, so I do like that quite a bit. And we obviously need some ideas for this area, and we're going to have like one more layer up above, which is going to be kind of like the hangout area for the Avengers. So that's what we'll work on next time. If you guys have any ideas for this area, leave that in the comments section below. I am more than happy to read those and hopefully take some of them into consideration to utilize for, of course, our next build. So with that in mind, as always, guys, if you guys enjoyed today's episode of Blitzvillage, please don't forget to leave a like. I will indeed catch you lovely folks next time. Peace out. See you later, alligators. Bye-bye, everyone.